Okay, welcome back. I am Kris. This is part three. The Pashtun leader who peacefully defied the British Empire from Al Jazeera. This video was requested. If you can click that thumbs up button for me and subscribe to the channel, that helps out tremendously. It's an option. You can also donate to the channel through the thanks button. If you donate and you request a video, your name's sponsoring that video. Otherwise, this was a request. You just don't get that extra shout out. You guys ready? Part three, here we go.
Some discipline was required, and this discipline was daily parade of the regular members of Khudai Khidmatgar. And then some ranks were also distributed. For example, Journal, they were known as Jarnail, then Colonel and Captain. This is interesting in Uthman Zai. The Jarnail was a barber. In the morning, he will lead the parade and he will command the parade of all leading Khans, including Wali Khan, son of Bacha Khan himself. They will follow him.
So all the higher ranks were given to those who were looked down upon in the society. All the sons of the landlords, and the landlords used to acknowledge and salute the lower caste people.
23rd April 1930. This is a memorable day in the history of Pashtun. Unfortunately, not much coverage has been given to this event. The British, they fired upon innocent people. They were carrying no arms in Kissa Khani Bazaar. This massacre took place and more than 250 people, they were killed in cold blood. 11 in the morning, they started direct firing and it went till 3 o'clock.
There was another meeting near Mardan, a place named Thakkar. Again, there was a peaceful demonstration. They opened fire on that demonstration, and again, many people were killed. In the same way, in the south, Bannu district, in 1930, there was another demonstration of peaceful Khudai Khidmatgars. They were again fired upon by British security forces, and a large number of people were killed and imprisoned.
Then the repression, it went on. There was no one to hold them from doing atrocities. During the whole time, the Pashtuns, they never retaliated. There is not even a single incident to show that they killed some British officials in retaliation. They accepted non-violence as a creed and they follow it perfectly.
By the early 1930s, the independence movement began to gather momentum across the Indian subcontinent. Khan clashed with the British colonial authorities and was arrested in April 1930 on his way to address followers at a rally in Peshawar. He was handed a 3-year jail sentence. That same month, Mahatma Gandhi of the Indian National Congress escalated his anti-British protests. Khan's Servants of God, who numbered over 100,000 members, shared many values with India's Congress Party. Their members largely followed different religions, but they both supported full independence from Britain. They also both refused to pay taxes to the British Crown.
All Indian National Congress.
Did they hit these guys with the Stamp Act? The Tea tax? We've been down that road. That's why I'm kind of giggling. Yep. The U.S., the early colonies. Yeah, we kind of remember that. Yep. Wow. It's funny how history repeats itself. Minus the racist violence. We didn't really get that. We did get some violence. Clearly it wasn't the same. But yeah, Very similar.
Congress was formed by a Britisher, AOU.
We also were not nonviolent, though. That's a bit of a difference.
Just for presenting the demands of the Indians to the British government through peaceful means. But it was later on that it became anti-British.
There he came in connection with Mahatma Gandhi, who also believed in non-violence. So their connection got developed and made. The bonding was there, and the bonding was of non-violence. That already Bacha Khan, before meeting Mahatma Gandhi, had started to practice non-violence.
Some historians today compare Bacha Khan with Mahatma Gandhi, famous around the world for his role in Indian independence. The two men knew each other and sometimes campaigned together, and they both urged their people to rid the subcontinent of British rule. But while they both believed in non-violent resistance, Gandhi represented many more people, and so has far greater global recognition.
If we compare Bacha Khan with the Gandhiji, just you remember that Gandhiji, when he came, he was around about 40 years. When he came to India from South Africa, the All Indian National Congress was there. There was a stage, there was a party, but he joined and he infused a new spirit. This is number one. So far as Muhammad Ali Jinnah, which is known as Quaid-e-Azam, the great leader in Pakistan. Muslim League was there because Muslim League was formed in 1906. So in his case, the stage was there, the party was there, but he infused a legal you can say, legal methods and this method or that method. But in the case of Bacha Khan, he made his stage with his compatriots. He formed a group, a party. And another thing, which is in my opinion, as a different, mostly political movements, whether reformative, whether political, or other groups or parties, etc., they always formed in the urban areas. But in the case of Khuday Khidmatgar movement, this started from a small village.
The Second World War was a key period for the future of the subcontinent. British India supplied 2.5 million soldiers who fought under British command against Nazi Germany and Japan. Gandhi's and Bacha Khan's demands for an independent India grew louder. As pacifists, they refused to support the war as it went against their non-violent principles. The Indian National Congress Party backed Britain's war effort. Khan resigned in protest, and Gandhi later spoke out against the war and was jailed by the British. When the war ended in 1945, the question was whether India would remain a single country or be partitioned into two separate states. This inflamed existing divisions between Hindus and Muslims. Over 1 million were killed and millions more migrated from one part of India to another. The Indian National Congress accepted partition, but with East and West Pakistan on India's opposite borders. Khan told Congress, quote, "You have thrown us to the wolves."
The Indian National Congress and the Khuday Khidmatgar led a movement against British colonialism. Bacha Khan's party did not talk about a separate country for Muslims, which was Pakistan. That was not talked about in detail actually till 1946. And in 1947, Pakistan came into being. So this was a political issue.
Abdul Ghaffar Khan was the most misunderstood person. Yes, the Khuday Khidmatgars and Abdul Ghaffar Khan, they opposed the creation of Pakistan, but they did it following certain principles. Abdul Ghaffar Khan was not shy of accepting this, that they opposed Pakistan. In March, 5th March 1948, he took the oath of allegiance to this country, to Pakistan. He made it clear in the Constituent Assembly that till yesterday, we opposed Pakistan on certain reason, on certain principle. But today onward, I'll be a faithful and loyal citizen of this country.
But Shah Khan failed to prevent partition and pragmatically accepted the reality by pledging his loyalty to the new state of Pakistan. But this loyalty came with conditions. In the years that followed, Khan called for an autonomous Pashtunistan. Not for the first time in his political career, he clashed with those in power.
After independence, his Khudai Khidmatgars were banned by the government. From 1948 to 1953, he remained in prison, and his family, his children, his sons were also taken to prison. Thousands of Khudai Khidmatgars were taken to prison for 5 years, and their properties were confiscated. Although he was member of the Constituent Assembly of Pakistan, and he took oath of allegiance to the new country, but he was imprisoned, so his followers came out in protest. So in Babara Charsada, the place where he belonged to, they demonstrated. And again, fire was opened at them, and more than 600 people were killed. Unarmed people.
This Sardarya Markaz or headquarter that was razed to the ground, that there are idols, and these are pro-Hindus and pro-Baath. Bacha Khan is a traitor. This was in our books, in the textbooks, that he was a traitor.
The behavior of the newly established country was much harsher than the Britisher. He remained in British prison for 15 years. He remained in Pakistan prison for 18 years.
He was such a great man, but unfortunately people didn't recognize him. That is very sad. I'm sorry. He spent whole life in jail to aware people, to educate people, but unfortunately, the stakeholders, they didn't consider him as a hero. And he was a hero. He was a real hero. He was hero for us, and he will be forever in our heart.
Did they say that he spent 15 years in a British prison and 18 years in a Pakistani prison? Like, it sunk in when she was crying. That's what I heard. And it just kind of was like, oh, okay. You know, I was just like, wow. But did I hear that right?
In 1986 to 1987, about 2.5 years, he stayed with us. Then at that time he was 98 years old. He was confined to a wheelchair, but we stayed in the same room because he was invalid and he needed help. All our house, including my mother, though she was not well at that time, all of us were available for him to help and assist him. Yes, he wasn't a hassle for us.
When he died in 1988, 3 states lowered their flags for a person who had not remained in power even for 5 minutes. 3 states, India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, lowered their national flags.
Tens of thousands of mourners attended Bacha Khan's funeral, including high-level dignitaries from Afghanistan, India, and Pakistan. The cortege moved from Peshawar through the Khyber Pass to Jalalabad. At the time, Mujahideen fighters in Afghanistan were battling occupying troops from the Soviet Union. Both sides declared a ceasefire to allow for the burial of Bacha Khan.
Bacha Khan was a non-violent icon of international caliber. But unfortunately, he is not mentioned very widely alongside Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, and Martin Luther King. But even then, he is too big to be suppressed. Our new generations are rediscovering him. Now we have a university in his name. Peshawar Airport is named after him. After a long time after his death, he was not mentioned in official history books. But you see, people have discovered him because his services were too big to be ignored.
Bacha Khan achieved a great deal in his extraordinarily long life, despite spending almost half of it in prison. He played a vital role advocating nonviolent struggle in colonial India, and as a result, must have saved countless lives. Now, over 30 years after his death, Bacha Khan is achieving international recognition as an educator, a campaigner, and an active opponent of colonial rule.
Wow. Yeah, I'd never heard of him. Never heard of him. But yeah, he should be mentioned with the other people, the other nonviolent people, Gandhi, MLK. I mean, he deserves his rightful place there. And if you're thinking, well, I don't know, when he died, 3 countries lowered their flags. If I die, do you think Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. are lowering their flags for me? No. That's why I say we need to take up arms against... Oh, wait a minute. That's wrong. Wrong message. Sorry. Yep. That's not at all what his message was. Yeah. I mean, deserving. Quite an impressive man. 96 years, is that what it was? He died in 88. Was he born in 1890? So 98? I mean, still, that's a long life. He spent so much time in jail. Nelson Mandela. Sorry, that was the other one. So much time in jail, too. Wow. Well, rest in peace to him. Okay, this is good. I'm going to end this here. Till next time, have a good day, have a good night.